Take a look at the starting lineup on my Race Pass app. Jason's one of my fantasy picks tonight.
Uh-oh.
That'll be a good one.
Well, I believe he won the feature last Saturday here at Off-Road Speedway.
Well, good reason to pick him. Here we go.
You get an inside scoop on this fantasy picks, or you got some kind of person calling you saying, hey, and
if anything, I'm probably the one in charge of insider trading.
Tim Pritchett Jr. gets the green. We're on with first of 4 heat races in your hobbies.
This is going to be a wild one to try to get those spots in that main event later on tonight as Pritchett shows the way down the backstretch. Lance Milkey trying to make the outside work as they go into turn number 3. Jace Malasic way up top off of turn number 4 there. 3 wide sandwich. Look out. And Malasic kisses the wall as Tim Pritchett takes the opening lap. Again, top 3 finishers move on to this main event, and it's an all-out battle for the final transfer spot.
Jace Malasic was one piece of the bread, and the other piece of the bread was Jim Kimmel, and the sandwich was Lance Milkey. And around goes the 44, and that is Zach Swigard.
I think he went around on his own. We'll see if he can get it refired. Not in time. Caution out. Caution
on the speedway for Zach Swigard there, Anthony. And but yeah, Lance Milkey with the meat and the sandwich on that one coming out of turn number 4. And off to the pits he goes.
Yep.
When you're done in the heat races.
Yeah, went around on his own accord. Did not have any assistance. So
he'll have to try to make it through a B feature tonight there for the A feature in the hobbies.
That's a shame. Here we go. Caution lights go out. Tim Pritchett on the point. The Sweet 16 brings us back down to the green flag. Here we go.
So into turn number 1, Tim Pritchett leads him. Jim Kimmel, here comes the shadow. Jason Wilkinson, he got a little squirrely. Lance Milkey on the inside of him. Now Wilkinson redeems himself on the outside. And then it's Jace Malasic. But out of turn number 4, it is Tim Pritchett Jr.
Halfway home in this one, we've got a spinner in turn number 4. That's Jace Malasic who's gone around, and he's in the sippy hole over in turn number 4. Spins the tires, keeps it going. We will stay green. But a race is on now for the top spot as Jason Wilkinson. Look at the outside of Pritchett for the top spot. And the battle's on for the final transfer spot as gentleman Jim Kimmel holds off Lance Milkey.
As a helicopter flies over turns 1 and 2, we got Tim Pritchett Jr., the leader. Jason Wilkinson, Jim Kimmel, Lance Milkey, and Jace Malasic. But out of turn number 4, leading this lap. White flag out for Tim Pritchett Jr., but here comes the shadow, Jason Wilkinson.
Those are both for transferring positions to the main event, but the better you finish, the better you start in the main. Wilkinson pulls ahead down the back straightaway. Into 3, Pritchett, bump to the rump there, but off of 4, Wilkinson will hang on for the win.
Tim Pritchett Jr. in second, Jim Kimmel third, Lance Milkey in fourth. Jace Malasic will finish in 5th. But your winner, part of the Neely Nightmares, I call him the Shadow, Jason Wilkinson.
And Tim Pritchett and Jim Kimmel, the other 2 drivers that will meet him in that main event later on tonight.
You got to wait till that last big cone right over there at turn number 4, and you can start going.
We still got 2 heat races left, and then we've got your Predator Custom Trailers B feature for the Malvern Banks Super Late Models West Series, and then a last chance qualifier for the Hobby Stocks before we get tonight's main event set up. So a lot of great racing still coming your way here at Off-Road Speedway. We're trying it again.
Tanner Board brings him into turn number 4. We'll watch it again this time. Oh, much better. Green flags out. Bristol Arneson said, see ya. Look at this. It's a hornet's nest behind him. Nick Kimmel. Actually, that's Ryan Payman got the jump this time, Anthony.
Yeah, Payman trying to do what Kimmel did on that last start. Kimmel got sandwiched off in that preferred line. Payman off the bottom from worst to first in 1 lap.
Ryan Payman, you got Nate DeSivey, Bristol Arneson on the outside of him. Then it is Nick Kimmel. Then you got
Max Anderson,
and then I couldn't quite see his number. And then the 77 at Tanner Board.
A Board just about hit the boards on the backstretch as they came by. Looks like all 4 tires are inflated. Just wanted to make sure of that. Meanwhile, Ryan Payman continues to click off the last one. Mother Dearest, Nate DeSivey, trying to get the best out of that hobby stock before he eventually sells that and moves up to the Class 2 at the team. Now Payman's up. Payman's got something wrong. He kisses the wall.
He got up in that slick step up there out of turn number 4, and right into the wall he went. Nate DeSivey inherits the lead. Nick Kimmel goes to second. Ryan Payman now gets sorted out in the 3rd. Then it is Max Anderson, Bristol Arneson, and Tanner Board.
Remember, top 3 finishers move on to the main event. Payman can still make the show, but Max Anderson is back there ready to make something happen. Anderson pushed a little bit up turn number 2. So Feynman will maintain the 3rd spot as they go into 3. White flag out this time for Mother Dearest.
Mother Dearest, Nate DeSivey with the lead. Nick Kimmel, Ryan Feynman, then it's Max Anderson, Bristol Arneson, and Tanner Bourne hang on to it. It's getting a little squirrely on him out of turn number 4. But coming out of turn number 4, your winner from O'Neill, Nebraska, it is Dearest Mother, Nate DeSivey.
Second at the line will be Nick Kimmel. Ryan Feynman hangs on for the final transfer spot. Then it's Max Anderson, Bristol Arneson, and when he gets here, Tanner Bourne in the 77 will round out the field.
So your winner once again from O'Neill, Nebraska, driving a 31K. That's Dearest Mother, Nate DeSivey.
And I'm hoping those will be the top 3 transfers.
You got little markers on there. So
yeah.
Pospisil, Arduzer, and
Brian Harms.
Brian Harms, Big Papa.
Those are going to be my picks. Hopefully, I'm hoping those will be the top 3 that move on. We'll see if they are.
Dugan's over here laughing.
Oh, what? You think you got one on me?
I don't know. We'll see.
He feels sure.
Setting the pace, Trevor Frisch. Let's go racing.
So here we go, 3 wide to kick this one off as our Arduzer, Frisch, and Harms go at it. It's going to be Big Papa with the top spot off of turn 2. Then it's going to be Frisch. Frisch cuts down right in front of our Arduzer to hang on to the 2nd spot. Going to be a drag race to the line. Big Papa, Brian Harms, the leader.
Brian Harms, Trevor Frisch, Stephanie Reynolds with a big run on the outside of Trevor Frisch. Here comes Mark Arduzer looking to the inside. Then it's Shannon Pospisil and Sean Hendricks.
A little bit of contact there between Arduzer and Frisch that last time by. Advantage goes to the 4 of Arduzer as they go into turn number 1. Stephanie Reynolds having a good run. She runs 2nd, and now I say that she goes to the lead. Stephanie Reynolds now up in front in the 96R.
Brian Harms got a little high over there in turn number 2, and Stephanie Reynolds says, thank you, I'll see ya. Mark Arduzer now moving into 3rd. The double-out buckshot to coach Shannon Pospisil. Looking to the inside of Brian Harms out of turn number 2.
36/100ths of a second was the margin between Reynolds and Arduzer the last time at the line, so a lot of tight racing going ahead. Reynolds up the track. Here comes Arduzer to the low side. That time 65/1000ths the difference.
Stephanie Reynolds, Mark Arduzer, Shannon Pospisil, Brian Harms, Sean Hendricks, and then Trevor Frisch out of turn number 4. White flags out, 1 to go. Look at dead heat between Reynolds and Arduzer.
Well, spin over there. Trevor Frisch goes to the infield. That time it was 22/1000ths in favor of Arduzer. Into 3 for the final time, race fans. Here we go off of turn number 4. Checker flag is going to fly, and it will be Stephanie Reynolds to hang on for the win.
Mark Arduzer 2nd, Shannon Pospisil in 3rd. He'll go the feature. Then Brian Harms, Sean Hendricks, and Trevor Frisch. But your winner, hey, the lady gets it done. Hey, ladies, give it up. The 96R, Stephanie Reynolds. It's a no-show in the heat race for him. Hopefully he'll show up in the B feature.
So here we go. We'll go with 5 cars, but still top 3 finishers move on to the main event. Christy Rosberg on that point.
6 laps the distance out of turn number 4. Take it away, Anthony.
Here we go. Green's in the air. 3 spots on the line. Let's get to it. Well, you mentioned before, Jimmy, Anthony Bruin won that heat race earlier this year. Off to a good start here. He takes the whole shot off at turn number 2. Wyatt Rosberg gets checked up, and that forces Lehman and Ewing to take evasive action. Going to be Anthony Bruin, the leader after 1.
Anthony Bruin, Wyatt Lehman, Tanner Ewing, Christy Rosberg, and Nate Buck. But Anthony Bruin leads them down out of turn number 2, down the backstretch. Got a little high that time. Here comes the redheaded stranger danger, the 6 of Wyatt Lehman.
Lehman right on the backside there, kicks the rear end out. That allows Ewing to close in on that 58T machine. So good racing up front here in those transfer spots. Ewing taking a look inside, not going to happen. Lehman down the back straightaway, noses ahead, looking into the inside of Bruin. That's for the lead. They're side by side at the line. Favor of Bruin, 55/1000ths.
Anthony Bruin, Wyatt Lehman, Tanner Ewing. You throw a net, you'd catch them all. Anthony Bruin went high. Look at this. Here comes Lehman and Ewing. Wyatt Lehman on the inside, Tanner Ewing on the outside, Anthony Bruin back to the 3rd spot. And then it is Nate Buck.
Keep your eyes. Buck right now is outside looking in. He's got to get by Bruin if he wants to transfer from the heat straight to the A. We'll see how that goes as now Lehman takes command of the top spot as they come off at turn number 4. This is for the win at the line. Euling will get it, and Bruin hangs on for the final transfer spot.
Oh, Tanner
Wow.
Euling, Wyatt Lehman, Anthony Broom will go the feature. Nate Buck one out looking in, and then Christy Rosberg.
Wow, look at that. By 51 1/1000ths of a second, your winner out of Norfolk, Nebraska. Give it up for him, race fans, the 58T, Tanner Euling.
Well, guess what, Anthony? Just like that takes care of the heat races.
Yep.
Jace Malosic, Bristol Arneson, row 3.
4th row will be Sean Hendricks and Christy Rosberg.
Zach Swigard, Tanner Board in row number 5.
Your final row scheduled to be Trevor Frisch and Aaron Warham. Don't believe we see the back row. Trevor Frisch not out there, and Aaron Warham not out there as well. So I believe we will
Who
go.
we got?
So we got one of our kids' trophy presenters.
He's going to do the stock cars.
He must have ate too much. He got sick.
Oh no! I think one of them fell down on the job.
Who did?
I don't know. Ah, so Hudson Mylanders, I believe his sister will take his place. I believe. Or
Okay, what's her
Okay.
name?
Oh, Bowden Van Osdell came sick. Okay. A tough break there for Bowden. Meanwhile, we are green in the hobby stocks. Last chance qualifier, 4 spots on the line. So we'll kick this one off with Lance Milky there. Good move by Nate Buck to split Harms and Anderson for that second spot. Bristol Arneson in that 51B outside looking in right now. She holds down the 5th spot at the line. The little Dominator takes the opening lap. Keep your eyes on that battle for that 4th spot between Brian Harms and Bristol Arneson. That's for the final transfer spot as they come off of turn number 2 this time. Harms the 48, Arneson the 51B, side by side there. Harms running without the hood right now, but that doesn't seem to bother him too much as Arneson that time was the 4th spot holder.
So your top 4 right now, Lance Belkey, the Buckmaster, Nate Buck, looks like Max Anderson, Bristol Arneson, Big Papa Brian Harms, and then Sean Hendricks.
I believe Bristol Arneson, her transponder not working right now, but nevertheless, she is running in that 4th and final transfer spot. So if you're following on the My Race Pass app, disregard that. We got a spin in turn 4. That's Christy Rosberg who's gone around. Caution out immediately.
So Christy Rosberg around in turn number 4, brings out the yellow flag.
And we got a wild one to settle this here in this one.
And this is just the B.
Yeah.
This is not the A feature yet, so.
We'll see who makes it in. 4 spots on the line.
Lance Milky on the high side, dives it off to the bottom, gets the green. We're underway with 9 to go in the B feature. Top 4 will go the A main. It's Lance Milky, Nate Buck, Max Anderson, Bristol Arneson.
Right now, Zach Swigard looking to the inside of Harms. And it looks like Tanner Borg gives a little kiss to the outside wall as they came off at turn number 2. And now, Malosic goes around. Good bit of driving by Borg. Somehow he missed him.
Oh!
And they're going to love that replay on the announcer cam as the caution is going to come out for Malosic.
He just spun that front end around down to the bottom and avoided the last car coming through.
What we got here.
So here we go.
On the advantage.
Replay is up. So there goes
that's your
Melky.
battle. That's for the lead.
Malosic. There he goes around. Now watch the last 2 cars. There, this one's coming down. Up. Oh, let me get out of the way.
As Sean Hendricks and Tanner Borg narrowly avoid heavy damage there.
That's what you call dancing in the dirt.
Caution lights are out. We're back to green with the hobbies.
Lance Melky brings in the turn number 1, followed by the young Buckmaster Nate Buck. There's Max Anderson, Bristol Arneson. Oh, Brian Harms got around the outside of Frisch. Oh!
We got more calamity. Now it's Sean Hendricks. He checked up when Zach Swigard got out of shape, and Tanner Borg just nowhere to go, sends him right on around, and the caution's out again.
And he's going to sit there. Sean Hendricks is just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and Trevor Frisch got out of, well, he was every which way but straight.
Yeah, I think that was Swigard actually went around.
Well, and
it's going to be a tight one here. That's how much getting into this feature means to these guys as Swigard gets escorted to the rear. Single file. We'll try it again, Jimmy.
So try it again. Lance Melke clear on that top side, dives it down to the bottom, gets the green flag with 8 to go. Into turn 1, it is Lance Melke.
Only 4 spots in the feature on the up for grabs right now. Brian Harms outside looking in that 48 machine. Gets a good run off of 2, but can't make the move on Arneson for the 4th spot. Meanwhile, Nate Buck looking to the inside of Melke. That's for the lead as they come across the line.
Arneson got loose coming on turn 4. Big Papa Brian Harms stuck right behind her. Give her a little bump to the rump, says, I'm here. Here goes Brian Harms.
Nate Buck, meanwhile, nosing ahead of Melke. That's for the top spot. So the Buckmaster now up in front of the speed feature, and Brian Harms scoots underneath Arneson for the final transfer spot, but still a ways to go. We're halfway done. 6 down, 6 to go.
Nate Buck, the young Buckmaster, in the lead. Lance Melke, Max Anderson, Big Papa Brian Harms, Bristol Arneson, Zach Swigard, and then it's Sean Hendricks. But in the lead, it is the young Buckmaster, Nate Buck.
That battle for the final transfer spot is far from over. Bristol Arneson not going away quietly as Harms goes up the track at turn number 2. Here comes Arneson back to the inside. Keep your eyes on him. 51B of Arneson, the 48 of Harms. They're side by side again. That's for the last transfer spot. That time give it to Arneson.
Lance Melke following in the footsteps of the young Buckmaster, Nate Buck. He's in second. Max Anderson. Now there goes Arneson. Here comes Swigard. Harms a little out of shape in turn 4. Here comes Sean Hendricks.
Off of 4. Harms getting shuffled back a little bit as Arneson hangs on to that final transfer spot. Now Arneson out of shape. Here comes Swigard. Could Swigard, after a little early contact, it's going to be a fatal 4-way match with 1 transfer spot on the line. 2 laps to go. Who's going to get it? Swigard out of shape. Arneson knows ahead to have it now. Wow.
Nate Buck, Lance Melke, Max Anderson saying, we're glad we're right here because we got a 4-car rat's nest over here. Oh, Swigard, a little out of shape. Here comes Hendricks. And now he's looking to the inside of Bristol Arneson.
What a race there for the final spot in the main event on the line. The fans are loving it out there. But off at turn number 4, race fans, here comes your winner. Nate Buck will punch his ticket into the main event. Lance Melke will join him. Third at the line is Max Anderson. Off at turn number 4, from the spin to the final spot in the main, Sean Hendricks will go on. Bristol Arneson, Brian Harms, and Zach Swigard out of shape will cross in the last car in the running order. So how about it, race fans? Your top 4 moving on. The 11H of Sean Hendricks, the 15M of Max Anderson, the 7 of Lance Melke, and your winner, race fans. Give it up for him. Car number 56, Nate Buck.
There you go.
Wow.
We're set.
Well,
So,
race.
and-
Yep.
And I've always said this to Ryan. You can sit in your chair, have your favorite beverage, and there's no lines at the restroom.
Well,
There they come, Anthony.
How about it? Get on up, race fans. One final time tonight.
Start waving. Yo! Hoorah!
So here we go. Off-road Speedway is where the wild things are tonight. The IMCA Hobby Stocks are ready to do battle. And your good buddy Tim Pritchett, Jimmy, on the point for this one.
Beamer, Nebraska. I've been at that golf course up there. Great golf course at Beamer, Nebraska. But this is not a golf course. This is a racetrack. Tim Pritchett Jr., tighten the belts down one more time. Mash the gas and let's go racing.
So here we go. Who wins this Sweet 16 soiree as we go into turn number 1? It will be the 16. Tim Pritchett to start off with the race lead. Anthony Bruin and Mark Arduzer side by side. But Wyatt Lehman off the pace in a big way. Trouble for the 6 machine. He drops like a rock. Problems on the 6 machine off at turn number 4. Oh, it's a mad scramble. Looks like by 59 1/1000ths, Pritchett had the advantage.
Tanner Euling just muscled his way up to the lead past Tim Pritchett Jr. Here comes the 4 of Mark Arduzer. Anthony Bruin said, what the heck is going on here? As he got rubbed out of the way, and here comes Nate DeSivey.
Well, here's another challenge for the rookie. I mean, you have the late model feature before this hobby stock feature, so a little bit more rubber than probably what Anthony is used to out here at Off-Road Speedway. So this is a big learning experience for that black and orange double nickel. Anthony Bruin trying to work his way through traffic. Meanwhile, Ryan Feynman, a big run to the outside. Here comes the 3 out of Albion, already up 6 positions.
Tanner Euling, Tim Pritchett Jr., Mark Arduzer, Nate DeSive, Nick Kimmel, Ryan Feynman, Anthony Brune, Jim Kimmel, and then the 96R of Stephanie Reynolds.
Tanner Euling was down in the 17-second bracket that last time by. That's about what the stock cars were running out here. Meanwhile, Euling starting to separate in a big way. 4 wide down the back straightaway. We'll see how everything shakes out. Everyone stays clean and green. They're sorting things out. They're letting them do that right now. They're still 3 wide in the back. Meanwhile, Kimmel nearly got into the wall there. It's
Anthony
getting tight.
Brune, in fact, he's going to go around. Anthony Brune came up. You can't see if anybody was there. He squeezed up Jim Kimmel to the wall, and then he lost control over turn number 1 and spun out.
A tough break there. That is the gentleman, Jim Kimmel. I'm about that. A tough break there for Jim. Getting the dipsy-do spinaroo over there in turn number 1. And that brings us under caution for the first time in the Hobby Stock main event. So now he'll have to try again. Buck, who won the B feature to get into this one, has to start at the tail end. Jimmy, we're ready to get back to it. Final feature of the night.
So Tanner Euling with 10 to go brings the field to turn number 4. Let's go back to green flag racing.
Here we go. Ryan Feynman to the inside and Mark Arduzer. They split Pritchett as they go into turn number 1. 2 and 3 wide all throughout the pack behind Euling. Look at this. Look at this little wild bat. Oh, we got trouble. Sean Hendricks up and over, and Nate Buck has climbed the wall and exited the racetrack as well. Red flag immediately.
Red flag out of the ballpark. Nate Buck, red flag is out.
We'll see if we can get.
We're going to have a replay here, Anthony.
This is going to be a wild one on the AdvantageRacing.tv.
Okay, watch the screen right here.
It's in the back of the pack. That's where Buck and Hendricks were battling. So watch the right side. So about the right side of the screen right now.
There it is, right there.
That's where it starts a little bit. There they are, Hendricks and Buck get collected.
Oh!
Wow. And Hendricks goes over about four times on the outside before after climbing the wall there. A tough break.
Now, when my wife always comments that I go, oh, but when you first see it, because we didn't see it, and them flying over the wall, that's just. You hope for the best, okay?
Well, thankfully, we did get the best. Sean Hendricks and Nate Buck out. The safety equipment did its job. I know the cars are going to be pretty bent out of shape after that wild melee, but thankfully the roll cages, the containment seats, the neck restraints, the safety belts, they did their jobs and kept Nate and Sean from any serious injury there. Great job.
Well, I guess that's why we call them the wild things.
Yep. I know as a chassis builder, I've seen this from like Sport Mod and stock car chassis builders. You know, it's kind of a double-edged sword for a chassis builder because, one, you hate to see one of your cars end up in an incident like that. But on the plus side, if the driver walks away with just a bit shaken up, that means it's a plus, actually, because you built a safe race car. You did exactly what it was meant to do.
Got that on my bucket list to make it to Knoxville sometime.
We'll need to get you there. Of course, we got a big week of racing in July at I-80. But meanwhile, caution lights are out. Anthony Brune making quick repairs. He's back in the field, and we are back to it here at Off-Road. 10 to go.
Green flag is out. Tanner Euling says, I'm taking you to turn number 1, followed by Mark Arduzer. There is Ryan Feynman. He's being challenged by Tim Pritchett Jr. Here comes Nate DeSive.
A lot of great racing coming up. Meanwhile, Nick Kimmel working his way just outside the top 5 right there with Lance Milkey and Shannon Pospisil in tow. You know, Milkey and Pospisil, they had to start deep in the pack in this one. Lance Milkey, I believe getting second or so in that B feature. The little Dominator working his way towards the front.
Coming out.
Whoa!
Oh,
Arduzer
Arduzer gets spun. Look out.
Oh, Feynman. Oh, DeSive gets collected. It looks like Max Anderson gets bottled up.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, we'd like to see that one on the replay.
Oh, look at the damage on Lance Milkey on the 7 machine. Ryan Feynman, Max Anderson, Anthony Brune. Great job, hard on the brakes there.
All right, here comes the replay.
It's tight racing up there for the second spot. Arduzer right there. May have got caught by Ryan Feynman.
Ryan Feynman caught him in the left rear quarter panel there, and around he went. So
looks like Ryan's out of the car. He's just surveying the damage on the 3 machine. You see the damage to the 4 of Mark Arduzer. So going to be an up and down weekend for the 4 out of Battle Creek. Won last night at Albion, and unfortunately it looks like it'll probably be a DNF here at
Norfolk. Took a lot of the
Norfolk.
heavy hitters out of the front of the field here in the Hobby Stock feature.
And this is going to hurt me because I think Mark was one of my fantasy picks tonight here at Norfolk. So I know I've been here when it's about 100 degrees when I first roll through. But tonight's been gorgeous. Plenty of breeze there as seen by Old Glory over in turn 4.
We got the Moody boys up here, so they're enjoying it.
Here we go, guys, off of 4. Let's get back to business.
Tanner Euling down the front stretch brings him into turn number 1, followed by Tim Pritchett Jr. But there's Nick Kimmel, Lance Melky. Look at Shannon Pospichel. Lance Melky now making it 3 wide down the backstretch.
Man, big run here for the little Dominator. Keep your eyes on him. Milky already a winner over at the US 30 Speedway. Meanwhile, Tim Pritchett, he's got some good fight left in him as well as the laps continue to wind down here. Euling continues to show the way. Here comes Jason Wilkinson on the outside of Pritchett to take 4th.
Don't count out the shadow, Jason Wilkinson. Now on the inside is still Tanner Euling, Nick Kimmel, Lance Melky, Jason Wilkinson, Tim Pritchett, Shannon Pospichel, Stephanie Reynolds, and gentleman Jim Kimmel.
Keep your eyes on him as the field continues to fan out. Nate DeSivey trying to make the big run back towards the front. 0.4 of a second was the difference between Euling and Kimmel. Right now, Wilkinson trying to work to the inside of Milky. Keep your eyes on him. Milky has it about just over 1/10 over Wilkinson that last time by.
Tanner Euling with the lead coming around this time out of turn 4. 5 laps to go. Tanner Euling, Nick Kimmel. Now you have Lance Melky, Jason Wilkinson, and Tim Pritchett Jr.
Keep your eyes on Nate DeSivey continuing to work his way through the field. Going right up beside Stephanie Reynolds for position. So Dearest Mother trying to bounce back after sending to the rear for being involved in that melee in turn 4. And Kimmel's got company from Milky.
Tanner Euling, Lance Melky, Nick Kimmel, Jason Wilkinson. Then you have Tim Pritchett Jr., Shannon Pospichel, Dearest Mother, Nate DeSivey, and Stephanie Reynolds. Coming around this time with 3 laps left to go.
A lot of good racing still to come. I believe the battle for the win should be here before too long. Here goes Wilkinson. Just about got caught by Milky there. A little extra long nose piece there for the 7, even though a part of it's been bashed in. Milky putting up a great fight here. 2 laps to go this time. Kimmel trying to hold up the shadow and the little Dominator.
But that's what Tanner Euling wants to see, even though he can't see it, is them fighting behind him because he's starting to pull away. Nick Kimmel, Jason Wilkinson, Lance Milky, 3 wide in turn 3 as the white flag comes out, 1 to go.
That's the battle for second. Wilkinson able to slip underneath. Meanwhile, Tanner Euling doing a great job up front. Like you mentioned, Jimmy, he has never won here at Off-Road Speedway before. Change that fact tonight. Tanner Euling is a new winner here at Off-Road Speedway.
Jason Wilkinson, Lance Milky, Nick Kimmel, then you got Shannon Pospichel. Then it is Nate DeSivey, Stephanie Reynolds, Tim Pritchett, Jim Kimmel, Max Anderson, Anthony Brune. But your winner in the 50-18, I believe it is his first time, Tanner Euling and Bree Vanasdal. Bree Vanasdal, head on down there to the flag stand. Bree's taking over for Bowden because Bowden got sick and couldn't do it, so Bree Vanasdal. Head on down to the trophy stand down there, the flag stand down there to help present the trophy to the winner. First time here at the Off-Road Speedway. Tanner Euling,